trades are definitely won or lost, or become winning trades or losing trades based on relevant information, your ability to interpret that information, act on it, and an emotional plan. Being able to manage your emotions while in trade, prior to trade, or consequently after trade. It's important to understand that the information that you're receiving in the Squawk Box is just that. It's information. The amount of information that we'll be able to provide is much more and a lot more in depth than the actual information that's on the superficial level that the chart provides you. And sometimes that creates a very emotional setting or environment, and you can get lured in or sucked into the energy and the emotions that the broadcaster's transmitting through the audio format. And that's where it's essential that you have a plan to manage your emotions and manage and interpret the information that's involved and that the broadcast is providing. It's important to know the bids and the offer that the pit's giving you, and that the Squawk Box is providing. And these bids and offers provide or give direction, and they provide confidence when you're constructing your trading plan. The information, again, comes in the form of bids and offers, comes in the forms of a read on certain players, and it comes in the form of whether it looks like, again, one of the specifics is whether does it look like that player has more to buy or more to sell. This is what helps you build confidence. Knowing this information, knowing it's as it's developing, and this can be important and essential either to scalp or swing traders. This information flow that is essential and very unique to the Squawk Box service. That's another very important thing that I talk about in terms of trading all the time, is that you need to be unique. You need to be abnormal. Because, again, getting back to the numbers and success-failure rate and percentages, if everybody was successful at this, then it would be something where everybody would have the same tools and everybody would be acting on them the same way. I jokingly and always say that every trader in that pit is the most abnormal person that you'd ever meet if you met them kind of on a away from the pit basis. These are guys that they basically break the mold after they make these guys, it seems like. And in my opinion, even that applies for screen traders as well. Some of the screen traders that are most successful tend to be extremely unique people away from the screen as well. It's easy to be like everyone else. You look around in your daily life and you'll see people that are basically the same all over the place. Those are people, if they were to enter into a trading environment, that would kind of fall into that high percentage number of people that are not successful when they try and trade. People that just lose money. Or bust out accounts. And it's one of those very important things, an essential element to the Squawk Box to be able to extract from the information is information that can help you become abnormal or help you remain very unique. And in this situation or under these terms, those are good things to be. Usually, sometimes, obviously, most people think of being unique as a very good thing. But not necessarily think of being abnormal as a good thing. But when you're talking about becoming a successful trader, it's extremely important to be abnormal. And if you're just normal, then you're basically the kind of person that's buying highs and selling lows. That's a very normal thing to do. If you're just normal in the trading environment, then what you are is you're pretty much just getting sucked into the energy as the market's making new lows, and you're selling it down there thinking it's going, going to break down forever, or you're buying new highs thinking that the thing's going to the moon. But that's the normal thing to do. And that's what a lot of normal people actually do is get sucked into that energy, into the market, and they're not able to eliminate some of those key emotional draws or key emotional factors at play, which lure the trader in and sometimes kind of get the best of you. And it's important to understand that in becoming professional and to withstand the test of time and to be able to prove yourself as a trader, it's essential to obtain unique elements and unique indicators and abnormal elements and indicators, and certainly the Squawk Box is a very abnormal service to be subscribing to, because it definitely is not normal. What's normal is just kind of sitting back and looking at a bar chart, or sitting back and looking at a candlestick chart and trying to establish a trade decision based on that. But if what you're really doing is basing trade decision on the Squawk Box and the information that you're receiving from the Squawk Box, you're kind of, again, approaching it from a very abnormal, unique level, which is extremely important. These are live indicators, an indicator like the Squawk Box, which change by the moment, and it's important information, and these market conditions are never stagnant. That's one of the things I was talking about before in terms of kind of watching a horse race and always having something to talk about, whether it be the horse in the lead all the way to the middle of the pack to the horse at the end there. There's never a market condition that doesn't have details or development that's occurring on a regular basis, or again, the lack thereof those things, and the presence of that. And so, I when we're training new broadcasters and talking about market or price activity, I always say, when you get stuck on something, or when you get stuck on a certain price, as the market tends to be stuck at times at a certain price or at a certain level, anticipate at that point that the market's going to move. The second that you start to feel like the market's stuck, or in an environment, or in it within a range where prices are not going to move, that's most often when prices do move, because most participants are actually kind of getting lulled into the market being 5 half bid at 6 even, 5 half 6 even, and the second that you get lulled into it, that's when a violent move usually occurs. These market conditions aren't stagnant; they're constantly developing, as are as many participants that are constantly at play in the tug of war that's occurring. The chart indicators are really and basically rely on historical data to tell us what's just occurred in the past. Squawk is an indicator which is telling us what's occurring right now. Right now, the market is here. The Squawk Box broadcaster is telling you and presenting the market's conditions so that you can accept this information in a now format. That format is bids and offers, players, and quantity. And that information is constant. It's a steady stream. There's no other broadcast like the Squawk Box. It's 100% listener supported, so we don't actually have to provide commercials during the day, which is one of the beauties of the broadcast. We don't, aren't plugging affiliates that we work with during the day. We're not talking about, certain products or certain trading chat rooms, or talking about trading platforms or any of that stuff. This is 100% listener supported, which gives us the ability to actually focus on the facts. More importantly, focus on development as it's occurring. We're not reading from scripts. It's information as it's developing in front of our eyes, and feelings and energy that's coming towards us, which is presented from the market's participants, which there's always a frenzy of, and there's always an enormous amount of those market participants, whether it be through locals or whether it be through the paper, influencing the market and pushing price in one direction or another, influencing the market and creating momentum or lack thereof. These participants, are always contributing to the development of the market, and that's what makes the market. So again, what you're hearing is a now type circumstance or a now type development rather than a historical type circumstance or historical type development. The chart provides you what happened then. The Squawk Box is telling you about what's happening now. And it's to the second, so it doesn't have delay, and there's not you're not caught up in what has happened, but you're hearing again as it's unfolding what is happening.